Did you know that essential oils could support heart health and actually enhance connection? This is vital if we are going to make a dent in the number one killer for men, women, and everyone. In this video, I want to discuss how conventional medicine is failing cardiovascular care. But I also want to discuss the importance of incorporating mind-body medicine in the form of essential oils in order to alleviate some of the stress regarding people's lack of social connection or strained relationships and how they can help. And then finally, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to make an exciting announcement about my new community membership program, which will foster mind, body, heart health and help with these relationship connections so that you can thrive and have a happier, healthier, heart happy life. Okay, let's get started. First of all, the kind of dreary news. Heart disease is still the number one killer in both men and women. It has been for globally for decades, and we have not been able to move the needle. In fact, it's only projected to get worse. It's been projected to go up by 30% by 2035. Now, I've been exploring in this series on cardiovascular care all of the different reasons why conventional medicine is lacking in its approach to heart health. I talked about startling statistics regarding the overlooking of women's risk for cardiovascular disease. I discussed how many heart symptoms and signs are often overlooked, especially in females. I highlighted traditional risk factors and how some of the most influential ones are barely heeded, which we're going to get to in a minute. I even put myself on the line and dove into the controversies surrounding cholesterol levels and statins. Now, if you missed any of those videos or articles, don't worry. There will be links in the video description to the article and resources and references that goes along with this video, which will also have links to the previous videos and articles. But one of the main things that I discussed most recently about why I feel that modern medicine is failing to optimize heart health for everyone is that it isn't discussing the very important connection between the mind and the body and the heart. It's solely focusing on physiological or surgical manipulations of the downstream symptoms and lab markers, but not the causes, right? So they will look at high cholesterol and how to manipulate high cholesterol, but not necessarily look for the reason for that high cholesterol. And I talked about before, there could be many different reasons for that, including low thyroid function, right? But another thing it's not considering is the impact that social relationships and connections and socioeconomics have on heart health and can even impact different markers in cardiovascular care. So, for example, perceived loneliness and isolation, those are substantial risk factors associated with cardiovascular mortality. Lack of social support has been found to correlate with high inflammation, specifically the marker hsCRP, which is an inflammatory marker that can be measured in your blood. Now, high inflammation causes more strain on all aspects of the body, not just the heart. The underappreciated aspects linked to mental health issues such as depression and anxieties, these also compound and increase one's risk for heart disease and compromised recovery. And we know that there are various physiological factors related to why someone might have depression. One of the other reasons is the fact that they could lack healthy support systems, right? It's part of the picture. On a positive note, healthy relationships actually decrease the risk of someone suffering from a repeated heart attack if they've already had one, and they buffer negative strains on the heart. So we cannot optimize a heart with any drug, supplement, or lifestyle intervention alone. We are just addressing misaligned biochemistry. We have to consider psychology and we have to consider social determinants of health. The mind-body aspects of love and connection are neurobiological, and they are positive powerful medicines that are needed to heal hearts around the whole world. They boost all other things that affect physical cardiovascular function and overall wellness. So we need to address traditional risk factors for heart disease. We need to expand awareness on overlooked symptoms, right? These are all things that we could be upping our game for cardiovascular care. We can integrate holistic treatments for all of the mediators of it. So we need to find ways to enhance the benefits of social connection into healthcare. So for healthcare providers, this may look like prioritizing, asking our patients or our clients what their social support is like, who they have, if they have a crisis that they could call. You would be surprised how many people might say no one. It's a question I ask all of my clients. And if they do not have these forms of connections, we get busy at helping them find ways that they can support their bodies, their emotional health, their social connection with resources, either in the community, online, anything that can help benefit and boost their feelings of feeling like they're alone. You can even live with people. And if the relationship is strained, that can make somebody feel lonely. So it's this perceived loneliness, right? There are many people that might prefer to be alone and they don't have these detrimental impacts. But many people, we are social creatures by nature, and many people need these social impacts. Now, one of the cool things about cardiovascular health that is an integrative practitioner's love is the impact of how the mind and the body impact the heart connection. So these practices for mind-body medicine actually enhance self-awareness, and this increases self-acceptance. And this can modulate a feeling of belonging. If you feel better about yourself and accept yourself more, it is easier to take those chances to go out and form those social relationships. They've also found that mind-body practices decrease inflammation and stress, which are downstream effects of feeling isolated and alone, right? So you're actually helping buffer those effects if you do some mind-body practices. Now, health and wellness providers could actually leverage this with their clients, right? Especially if they're coming in with heart risk factors, which, because it's the number one killer, everybody needs to pay attention, right? So there's so many interwoven factors between social isolation, loneliness, and detrimental outcomes on heart health, right? So mitigating these strains through practices that encourage and incorporate self-awareness, relieve stress, and decrease inflammation could make a huge difference. So now that we've talked about how we're failing cardiovascular care and conventional medicine, but positive notes about how we could alleviate that by bringing in social connection and mind-body practices, I want to really hone in on one of my favorite ones, which are essential oils. Now, why essential oils? They're easily accessible, right? They can actually promote many of the things related to the downstream effects of not addressing the root cause of this isolation or all these other various traditional risk factors in cardiovascular care. They help emotional resiliency. They help stress relief. They help balance hormones. They're going to actually modulate our brain biochemistry to change our perception and our mood, which has downstream effects on our overall physical health. Just the scent of aroma, just aromas themselves impact our mood, our stress response, and can relax us, which can lead to decreased stress hormone and lowered inflammation. Now, my database, which was a free database that contains over 50 single essential oils, many blends, and over 32 health categories related to essential oils, contains a whole section on cardiovascular care and heart health. Now, it looks at cholesterol, it looks at blends, it looks at how the heart is more than a pump, right? And discusses some of these concepts even more regarding integrating aroma influence and mood balances into heart health and mind-body effects. It lists some of my favorite blends. There's a blend on there called a stress relief blend that's in one of the articles, which also incorporates this mind-body effects of calming the body, but also has oils in there that are also going to help balance blood sugar. They're also going to modulate the stress response, right? And they're also going to, I'm trying to think, the ylang-ylang is one of the key ones I think of when I think of cardiovascular care, because that actually has an impact on the electrophysiology of the heart, actually calming down that influence in the nervous system response. So there's a lot that essential oils can do. So that's why they're one of my favorite. And again, getting people to pause and to stop and to take that deep breath and to tune in, I think is very important in mediating some of these detrimental effects of feeling like you're isolated or perceiving that you're isolated. So this brings me into some exciting news regarding my new community. So many of you know I've been using essential oils for over 20 years, right? Even before I started my naturopathic practice, I was incorporating essential oils into, I worked as a chiropractic assistant for a while before I went to school, and I was doing consultations on essential oils for him for a long period of time as well. So I've seen thousands of individuals and worked with them with essential oils. And I've had my free database available online, and I've just been educating on essential oils for a long period of time. They're one of the reasons, because they worked for me, that I went to go on and be a naturopathic doctor and look at how and why they worked so that I could incorporate them safely with my clients. And I know there's no replacement for face-to-face connection, but we can leverage technology and what we have right now in a positive way to promote healthy relationships, decrease these feelings of isolations, and enhance mind, body, heart health. That's what my new community membership is all about. It's taking my expertise of essential oils and allowing me to work more directly with my members. So it'll give individualized attention to those who maybe want to work with me, but they already have a naturopathic doctor or integrative practitioner, or maybe they just want to learn how to incorporate essential oils into their wellness regimen, which is already pretty well fit for them. Or maybe they just don't have the resources to go ahead and get a full naturopathic consultation or a functional medicine consultation. This community, it's less than a cup of coffee a day. It's $12 a month. And you will have access to questions and answers from me, a full out whole essential oils course. The database, which is actually going to now be shifting over into this community membership only, right? So I'll still be writing posts in naturopathic blogs for free for everybody. And when I write new essential oil content, you'll get a preview, but the full article will be for the community members. And again, this is a way to allow me to access and to build this community. It's a way to support the website so that I can continue to write for free. As you can imagine, I do all of my writing. I do all of my editing. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I want to be able to, as part of my mission, to continue to educate. So you would be supporting that for yourself and for other people as well. And again, it offers another access point for me. And I would love to meet some of my readers more one-on-one, have these questions and answers, be able to jump on the community and do some quick training tips or some essential oil facts or wellness facts. It'll be focused on essential oils, but because I'm a naturopathic and functional medicine doctor, it's going to look at the whole mind, body, heart aspect. So in summary, what you would get are wellness articles that are related to essential oils. You would get the course, you would get questions and answers with me, you would get additional content. There's some bonuses going right now during the promotion. So you'll want to check that out in the link below. Overall, though, I just hope that you guys have a new appreciation for the importance of relationships and how we care for ourselves and how our mind and our body impact our physiology, and how when we just manipulate our biochemistry and don't look into the emotional aspects and we don't look into the wider world that we're interacting with, but just focusing on lab markers and how we can manipulate and optimize our health through biological manipulation, we're missing the mark, right? And our numbers speak for ourselves. Again, Heart disease isn't going down with all of the wonderful interventions and science and research we've done, and even the use of more medication. It's still the number one cause of death. And these things are important. I'm not saying they're not. We need to do all of these things, but we're going to miss the mark if we don't look at the other aspect of what's causing, stress and inflammation from being isolated from other individuals is going to cause stress on our endothelial vessel layers, right? And that's going to cause some heart issues. So let's look at that. It's an easy go-to point, and it's really important. So there you have it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section of either the article or the video, and I will be sure to answer them. I really look forward to this new opportunity with you, and I look forward to hearing your viewpoint and your take on cardiovascular health and how you're incorporating healthy relationships and more self-acceptance and self-awareness. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you're watching this, and take gentle care.